Hello class, today what we're going to be doing is inequalities. So first one's first, this is assignment number 110. This is problem number 1. It reads n is less than or equal to 5. So the first thing you do is you find the number 5 and you put a open circle. However, this is going to be a closed circle because of this line right here. Because it's equals, that means this is a closed dot, so I'm just going to fill this in. And then the way I do it is, because this arrow is pointing this way and the variable is on the left, I just fill in the line so the arrow says it's going this way. As long as the variable is on the left, whatever arrow this is, that's the way the arrow goes. The less than, greater than, becomes the arrow. So if it's greater than, it points to the right, less than points to the left. And remember, if you have the line underneath, it's a solid dot. If you have x is less than 3, this is an open dot. So I would be putting an open dot on 3. So that's the answer, where it's a solid dot pointing to the left with the arrow sign. Next one, we're going to be doing the exact opposite, where we take the graph of the inequality and turn it into an equation. So we just always use x for this matter, unless it's stated otherwise. We find the number, which is 1. So put the number 1 on there. We see that it's a closed dot. That means we have a line underneath. And because the variable is on the left, I just look at where the arrow is pointing, and the arrow is pointing, goes right there. Next one, number 5. What we have here is a two-step problem. I can treat this exactly like this. So p minus 2 equals negative 18. And now I need to solve for p and then figure things out. However, we have this special rule. We have to keep the inequality there. Because whenever we divide or multiply by a negative number, we have to flip the sign. So we circle the variable, take care of the hater. The hater right here is the 2. So I add 2 to both sides. These cancel out, and I'm left with p less than or equal to negative 16. And then the nice thing about these is it actually gives you a hint on where the answer is. Because this is a less than equal to, we have a solid dot on negative 16. So we have the less than signs, equal to. That means it goes there, solid dot. Now I realize that the variable is on the left, so this arrow is true, which means this less than sign means I'm pointing to the left. Less than left, greater than to the right. And you have to do both. Solve it for this, which is assignment number 110. And then you have to graph it, which is assignment number 111. So 2 assignments in 1. Next one, first thing I want to do is I have negative 4 less than or equal to n minus 19. Now I see that the variable is on the right. So the first thing I want to do is flip the 2 sides. So I want to bring this over here. I want to bring this over here. And I want to reverse this. So the less than sign becomes a greater than sign. I keep the equal sign or I don't keep the equal sign. I'm just switching this. The way I see it is the 2 point lines are pointing to the end, so it still points to the end. So I have n minus 19. The negative 4 just comes over. So basically, the right side becomes the left side becomes the right side, and I flip the greater than or less than sign. Because now it still reads the same. Negative 4 is less than or equal to n minus 19. Same way up here. So now I circle the variable, take care of the hater. So I circle the variable, take care of the hater. I add 19 to both sides. These cancel out. I'm left with n is greater than or equal to 15. Circle the answer. Because of this line right here, it's a solid dot on 15. And because of this, I point to the right. And that's it. Number 9. So now what we want to do is same exact thing. We see that the variable is on the left, so we rewrite the problem. So we have the problem, and what we want to do is circle the variable, take care of the hater. But first things first, I see that I can distribute, so I'll make it rain on m exponents. So we have negative 2 times n, so we have negative 2n. We have negative 2 times positive 1, so we have negative 2. And bring down the rest. So now I circle the variable, take care of the hater. I have negative 2, so I add 2 to both sides. Because I'm adding or subtracting, I don't change the inequality sign. These cancel out. I have negative 2n is less than 40. And now here's the hard part about this problem. I circle the variable, take care of the hater. I have a negative 2. The opposite of multiplication is dividing by a negative 2. And because I divide by a negative 2, the first thing I want to do is flip the inequality. And that's where everyone's going to get this problem wrong. So these cancel out. I have n is greater than negative 20. And that's the answer. So I have no inequality here. So there's nothing here. So that means I have an open circle. And I have the variable on the left and it's positive. So because of this right here, I'm going to just leave it at that. That means it goes to the right. And there we go. That's it. Number 11. So we have 6x minus 2 is greater than negative 50. First thing we want to do is circle the variable, take care of the hater. So we're going to add 2 to both sides. Again, please stop talking. You have 6x is greater than negative 48. I circle the variable, take care of the hater, divide by 6. And we get x is greater than negative 8. Because there's no line underneath, it's an open circle at negative 8. And because it's a pointing to the right, I point to the right. And then I circle my answer. Next one, first thing we want to do is make it rain. So we have negative times a negative is a positive 40. And I always write the positive sign. And then a negative 4 times a positive n is a negative 4n. So we bring down the 8. Next thing we want to do is we want to flip everything. So everything on the right goes on the left. Everything on the left goes on the right. And I flip the sign. So first thing I want to do is flip the sign. And then rewrite negative 4n plus 40. And then bring over the 8. I like to put the variable first. You don't have to, but it just makes everything easy. So I circle the variable, take care of the hater. I have a positive 40, so I subtract 40. I'm left with negative 4n is less than negative 32. I circle the variable, take care of the hater. Divide by negative 4 on both sides. Because I'm dividing a negative, I like to circle the sign because I want to make it into a greater than sign. So I have n, and a negative makes a positive 8. And I circle the answer. Because there is no underline, it is an open circle at 8. And because it's pointing to the right, I point to the right. 3 more. First thing we want to do is make it rain. We're distributing the 7. 7 times 3x is 21x. 7 times positive 7 is positive 49. And then bring down the rest. We circle the variable, take care of the hater. The hater is the 49, so we subtract 49. Because we're just subtracting, we do not change the inequality sign. These cancel out. I'm left with 21x is less than 50, 25, 26, 126. Circle the variable, take care of the hater. I divide by 21. I'm dividing by a positive, so I don't change anything. So x is less than 6. Circle the answer. Because there's no underline, it is an open circle at 6. Because it's pointing to the left, I point to the left, less than left. And that's the answer. 2 more. What we have here is a huge problem. So the first thing we're going to do is distribute. So we're left with negative 21n plus 14 minus 2. And I bring down the sign and I bring down the rest. The trick here is to understand this step from 101. You circle the variable. You have 2 variables. You find the smaller variable, which is the negative variable, and move it over to the positive variable by adding 21n to both sides. Because you're adding or subtracting, you don't change the inequality. So you have 23n. These cancel out. Bring down the negative 34. Put a plus sign there just as a placeholder. You bring down the rest. And I'm actually going to combine these two. 14 minus 2 is just 12. So now I circle the variable, take care of the hater. The hater is negative 34, so I add 34 to both sides. These cancel out. Add 34. And I'm left with 23n is less than 46. Circle the variable, take care of the hater. Divide by 23n. 23, sorry. And I'm left with n is less than 2. I don't change the inequality because I'm dividing by a positive number, not a negative number. Because there's no line underneath, it's an open circle at 2. Because we're pointing to the left, we point to the left, less than. That's the answer, both of these. And the last problem of the day, we distribute. We make it rain on them exponents. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times r is 5r. 5 times negative 2r is negative 10r. Bring down the plus sign. 5 times 2 is plus 10. And then we bring down the greater than or equal to 60. We circle the variables. And I like to underline the numbers because I'm going to combine the numbers as well. But I'm going to underline them with a different color. You're fine. So we have a negative 10r plus 5r is negative 5r because the negative number is bigger. We then have the plus 10, so that's plus 20, greater than or equal to 60. So we circle the variable, take care of the hater. So we circle the negative 5r, subtract 20 from both sides. Because we're subtracting, we don't change the sign. This cancels out. We have negative 5r is greater than or equal to 40. So now we circle the variable, take care of the hater. We are dividing by a negative number, so we circle the inequality. So we're left with r is less than or equal to, because we changed the sign, negative 8. Circle the answer. And because we have a line underneath the inequality, it is a solid dot on negative 8. And because it's pointing to the left, we point to the left. And that's it. Hope you have a good one. I will see you later.